from the Wells Fargo perspective, what are you seeing successful franchisors doing to help their franchisees with this financing piece?
Everything that was just stated. I mean, the days when a franchisee just had to fog a mirror are so over. So, let's remember the franchisor and lender want successful franchisees. So, getting the financing is a real important piece, and helping prepare them and getting there beyond the preferred lender list is really critical. So I always think if it's hard for the franchisor to get a completed application or a personal financial statement, just imagine how hard it is for the lender to obtain one.
Mm-hmm. So helping them facilitate and get through the loan process is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, every franchisee, just like, Keith had said, we need 3 years tax returns. We're going to need a business plan. We want a management resume, a personal financial statement, and everybody should have an idea what their FICO score is. I mean, at least a ballpark. I mean, and to that end, people who have bad credit know they have bad credit. So, I mean, when somebody calls me, they shouldn't be surprised that, they're going to have to personally guarantee for a loan, and they're going to have to fill out some paperwork. Mm-hmm. They shouldn't be surprised that there isn't 100% financing available. And I think the franchisors, the really good ones, they help set them up. It's like, here's some things you need to think about. They do some of that pre-qualification and screening and get them on the right track.
Mm-hmm. Lex, from a conventional standpoint, what are you seeing the good franchisors doing for their franchisees?
Not too much to add. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd say the better group, they've got somebody who's basically gone out and interviewed the lenders to figure out how the landscape has changed, and they've turned around and internally they're helping franchisees get linked up with lenders. Unfortunately, too many franchisors, it's just funny, the perceptions on legal risk out there. I see a bunch of great chains doing a lot to help their franchisees, and then I see others fold their hands and say we can't do it. There's a legal risk, and I think they're just hiding behind that. But at the end of the day, the good ones are, they're assessing the landscape of the climate with the lenders. They're turning around and having their franchisees understand what the environment is, and then they understand internally as a franchisor what can and can't be done. And then for sure, that's also they're making adjustments. They're raising the bar themselves with their franchisees. So it's not as many as you'd like to see. I think it's a critical component today that the franchisors be that involved, and maybe it's happening more kind of as we speak. But that's
and from what I've
seen.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, from what I'm understanding is that some of them are working on it, but it's a slow process.
Well, one thing I would add is I think the BCR is a really good tool, and I think it's very reasonably priced, and it's not going to, it may not make the difference between a franchisee getting approved for financing specifically just because of the BCR. But my sense is, what I speculate is that the more that franchisors utilize the BCR, because it definitely saves us time when we're evaluating a concept. But the more that BCR gets used by more concepts, the more it will grow, the more information that will probably be added to it. That it will evolve, and I think it's a very, very useful tool that should be adopted, by everybody, and then I think that it will evolve into something that becomes just extremely helpful, especially for franchisees who may want to walk down the street to their local bank where maybe they have a deposit relationship, and those folks don't do a lot of franchise lending. I think you walk in with a continually evolving BCR, and I think it greatly improves your chances there of getting a loan done.
Lex, this is Keith. It's a great tool. Some people might not know what a BCR is.
Yes, and I think, Darrell, I was going to see if you would expand on the bank credit report is what Lex was talking about.
I'd be happy to. Let me explain it the following way. The foundation of a bank credit report, as you're hearing from various lenders, and let me cite a couple just points that they made. Lex talked about unit closures, Laura talked about SBA failure statistics. Keith talked about evaluating training programs of the franchisor. Why are they talking about these things? They're not related directly to the borrower that they're trying to evaluate, but yet these are things that lenders are looking at today. Simply put, understanding unit performance, system performance, and franchisor performance are all indicators of expected loan performance. Over a multi-year period, we are seeing this evolution of the requirement of lenders to say, I need better information about those 3,500 franchise systems out there so I can make a determination which one has better credit characteristics in terms of performance, so that when I evaluate a prospective franchisee, I have a credit box that fits around this franchisee appropriately. And that's what a bank credit report does. It assesses a franchise system's creditworthiness.
Mm-hmm. And it makes it easier for the lender to say yes rather than no?
It does the due diligence homework that lenders otherwise would have to do on their own. You have on this call today some very experienced franchise lenders. A lot of the lending that's going on today has been referenced here as coming from community banks, local banks. The challenge with a local bank is they have the same need for due diligence, but their incentive to try and understand all of this to the level that these experienced lenders that are talking on this program today understand franchising is very limited. And their incentive to do that is almost zero if they're only going to do one loan for that brand over the course of a year. It's just not worth the time and effort to try and understand the creditworthiness of that franchise system. Mm-hmm. And that's where the bank credit report has direct application.